Hello, Professor. I make this video to show that I'm suitable for the Python teacher assistant in next semester. My name is Zongshuo Han, and I'm from Luthi University, and I'm applying for Lahti campus teacher assistant in next year. Here's some of my basic information. My average grade is 5, and during the 2-year study, I have received 114 credits. I have also structuredly learned some of the courses like the object-oriented programming, uh, which although it uses Java, but I learned that I can, for example, you create an object and call the object to call some of the functions using object-oriented ways. And then the data structure and algorithm that require us to use Python. For example, I use Python to implement the binary search tree, the heap, the stack, and do some of the interesting algorithm like the merge sort and the quick sort. For example, if you want to search a number, comparing to find the words one by one is quite efficient to define a merge sort algorithm which will greatly improve the efficiency, especially when the input data is large. It can greatly improve the cut the running time. And the database, I also use Python. I use Python for do the front end, design some of the buttons. If you click the button, it will call the back end functions. And in the backend, I use library in the Python and use it connected to the PostgreSQL and my database. Use Python as a tool to manage my database. And then after passing the foundation of computer science, I finally realized that why we say that Python is a high-level language. Because, for example, if you want to make a sum of the integers in the machine code, you really need to write quite a lot of things. But in the Python, you just need to have two parameters and input the two parameters and then print it. It's more readable and easy to manage. And I think it's quite important to have a good English expressions. Last year I received a grade 7. As a Chinese student, I think a good way is a good way for me to express my ideas clearly to other people. And also in the previous years, I have participated in the MCM SAM competition, which was held by the American Mathematics Modeling Competition, American Modeling Group. It requires us to convert the real-world question to use mathematical ways to solve it. It requires us to use some of the tools like the MATLAB and the Python to do it, like drawing the curves and calculate the result. And some of the projects will also help me learn that Python is a tool. So it's quite important to learn Python well, because if you future want to learn the artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, it will also require you use Python to do it. So I think that Python is quite important. And then here I want to share some of my experience as a teacher assistant. In the last year, I be a teacher assistant in Mathematics A. I think being a teacher assistant can really improve myself. For example, one of my students write all the pairs in square instead of in a circle way. I do not realize that until two students pointed out for me to that their answer is not correct, but I think there is correct. And then I memorize these things for a long time, and in the later when I meet the ordered pairs, it will always remind me that I need to write the round circle instead of the rectangular one. Okay, and actually last year I also want to apply for the Python teacher assistant, but I think at that time my skill is limited. Maybe I'm not a good teacher assistant for the students because maybe their questions I cannot solve. I think you need to be responsible to the student because you, as a teacher assistant, you need to help them solve their questions. So I give up my opportunity in the last year, but this year, I think I improved quite a lot comparing to the previous years. So I think some of the important qualities involves the English and the patience and the interest. Some of the teacher assistants they do not interested in the course at all. But I think if you want to be a good teacher assistant, you can arise students' interests and you are glad to discover the new skills. I think it's quite important qualities that share experience. I found that GitHub is quite a powerful way to manage your code. For example, you change some of the part code and save it, but maybe 2 days later you do not know which part you have modified it. But if you commit and push your codes to the GitHub, it will help you record. And also some of the experience like in the last year when I first, because the Python is my first programming language, and at that time I do not know how to learn Python, so I do not take notes at all. But before the exam, I find that I need to review quite a lot of things because I do not have notes. If there's some good teacher assistant, they tell me how to learn the Python, I think I will improve better. So I think this is important qualities. And also I want to mention the AI tools. I don't want to say that you cannot use AI tools, but instead you should use it properly. The ChatGPT can serve as a teacher, can serve as another teacher for you because he knows quite a lot of the information. And if you do not know how to debug your codes, you can ask it, and they will help you. And some of the if you have questions, you can ask AI directly, and they will tell you. But I know that quite a lot of students they will copy the code from the ChatGPT directly, and I think if I can be a teacher assistant, I can guide them to know how to use it correctly and how to use AI to improve their efficiency. For the complex concept, I meet was in the first complex concept I meet was the function. Actually, I think it's quite hard for me at that time because I do not know why we need to encapsulate the code into a function and to call the function. I think it's so complex. But you can see the coding here in the if you do some large project, you do not have the functions. It's difficult to management because you do not know which part have errors and which part to change. And also for the same things, if you write a function, you can call it directly. But if you do not write a function, you may need to write the code over and over again. And for me, we face some of the difficult problems. I will search from the internet, like the Google, and use the ChatGPT to search for the result and take some notes to help me memory it. So some of the videos in the YouTube, like I'm showing here, the stack and the quiz and the Python turbos, and the Geek for Geeks is a good way to help you to learn and to master more skills if you have questions. Okay, so this is my own experience. If I can be a teacher assistant, I can share them to. I can share my experience to the students, especially who was the first time to take this course. And then, if the students clearly do not interested in the course materials, maybe I can find them some of the additional, or to say, some materials in the YouTube to help them understand. But if they are clearly not interested in the course and do not like the programming at all, it will be a hard problem actually. I have found some of the games in the Steam like this game Well to Learn. This is a game that helps you and support you to use some of the use some games to solve some of the real world questions. It's quite interesting, and hopefully finding some of the materials like this one will help them arise their interest. And actually, for the latest Python skills, actually, I do not master all of the libraries in the Python, and I think it really takes me a long time to memory or to say master these skills. And so some of the latest development of the programming language, I will search them from the TikTok or review the GitHub and find how the technology improved. Okay, and next year will be my last year to be a student in the Lund University. So I do not have so many courses to worry about, so I can have more time to help students and prepare my materials. So I think it's not a big problem for me to balance studies with teacher assistant, because when I first take this course, learning Python, I learned this course by heart. So I don't think it will require me quite a lot of time to memorize these things, and I'm sure I can balance my studies with a teacher assistant. And there are some of the interesting projects that I've solved in the real world. There are quite a lot, but the things I really want to show that is this one. I have shared it in GitHub. This is a hard music. This is a hard music, which I use the Python and use the Bluetooth library. You can see in my hand I have a watch, and I use this watch to broadcast my heart rate to my computer. And when I run this code, it will connect through the MAC address of my devices and get the heart rate in real time through the Bluetooth connection. And then it will, based on the MOV, to guess which kind of status I was in. For example, I'm happy or not happy, and they will, based on my mood, and recommend some of the music for me. I also use the Deezer API because it's free, and I think this is a quite fun project. It also uses the Python, and then, for example, this is a database project I mentioned before. I use Python to develop the front end and the back end. And this is I use Python to this is a tool video I show in here. If you have interest, you can click it and it will show in the GitHub. This distributed system, I use Python to make a chat room between the server and the client, and using multi-threads. It's quite fun, and it makes me deepen my understanding that that Python is a good way and an interesting way. Okay, that's all, and I hope I can be a teacher assistant for the next year in Python. Thank you so much.